Alright, so we are back with more Final Girl. I'm not flipped over my event yet. So we've got the boyfriend in play. Alright. So, the victim closest to you is now your boyfriend. If the boyfriend dies in your space, start the next action phase with 12 time. So it's good for him to die. So closest, there. So we've got Laurie, who has 6 spaces to flip her ultimate. And whenever you're in the same space with an enemy and inflict damage, do an additional damage. We've got Hans and Camp Happy Trails. We're doing the meditation hour setup. So it's a bunch of single victims, except for at Makeout Point, where there are 2. So let's see what achievements we can knock out. We've got the Gruesome Deaths book standing by. So maybe we'll have some fun. Alright. So we've got our cards. Focus, 2 focus, a short rest, 2 walks, and weak attack. And that's our starting hand. So let's look at the rule book real quick. The feature films. So there is an achievement to save both the boyfriend and the girlfriend in a single game. So we could try to save him, or we could just take the 12 health. Which seems like a better option sometimes. We've got a lot more victims down this way, so we'll go ahead and head that way. I'm gonna walk and start off with nothing. So we can lose a health and 2 time to walk a space. I guess we'll do that. Puts us at 4. We'll do another walk and change out those dice, because nobody likes rolling 2 zeros at the beginning. Upgrade it a little bit. So this guy's over here, he's over here. Okay, so we've got 2 conversions. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and we'll just drop both focus, and we'll come down to the bonfire here. And then puts us at 3 time. We'll discard short rest and weak attack, go back up to 5 time. And then we go into the planning phase. So we're going to buy 2 sprints. Our 0 cost cards go back to the tableau. Oh, we'll get a close call as well since we have 5 time and not 4. Our time resets back up to 6. And then we begin the killer phase. So Hans attacks anybody in his space. There's nobody in his space. So we get a terror card, and he's just standing there. So our horror goes up to 6. And then the killer moves 2 spaces to the closest one. I'll put him up here because that's going to be the worst for us. Since he's off on his own, there's not a quick way to get there. Panic phase, nobody died. Upkeep. Time to take our turn. So we're going to sprint. We have 1 success. So we lose a time. We can move 2 spaces. 2. So we'll save both of those. The horror goes down by 1 for that reward. And we'll take the move 1 space reward. We'll come up here to the dock. And we're going to sprint. We still have 1 success and 1 failure. So it's 2 more spaces. So we'll come down here, 1, and then 2. And we'll take the additional 2 time. Puts us back at 6. So the planning phase, we'll take back our 0 cost cards. We have 6 time to spend. We're gonna buy 2 distractions for 6 time. Time goes to 0 or 6 again. Our sprints go back. Hans' turn. He's going to kill that victim. And his bloodlust goes up by 1. This gets discarded because it's no longer in play. We get our terror card. He wants fresh blood. If there are no victims on the board, discard and draw the next terror card. There are victims. Otherwise, he moves to the closest victim, which isn't far, and he kills one of them. So that goes up. And our horror also goes up. All right. Panic, because 1 died. We have a 6, so this one runs away. And now it's our turn. We'll start off with a focus. We have 1 success. So we drop the horror down and we lose the time. We'll play a second focus. We have 1 success and discard 2. So we'll drop down the time again and we'll lose or decrease the horror. We'll play distraction, which has 2 conversions. We'll discard short rest, weak attack, and 2 walks to convert both. So that goes down by 2, and we gain 2 time. And we'll play distraction. And we don't have anything to do with that. So we'll lose 2 time. And we roll both. We have 1 success. So that decreases and we gain 1 time. So now we have 5 time. And we'll double up on our sprints again. And grab this close call. And then our cards go back. And then Hans takes his turn. There's nobody in his space currently, so he doesn't kill anybody. We get a new terror card. Hans wants me. He's always wanted me. So he's going to move 2. His movement's still 1. So he's going to go... So he's going to go up around. 1, 2. Nobody in his space to attack, but he does make an attack. And then it's my turn. So we'll play sprint. We can discard 2. We didn't restart time. And I forgot to roll 1. Alright, so we'll discard 2 and gain 2 spaces of movement. So 1 and 2. Hans' turn. There's nobody in space. So we get a terror card. He's just standing there. So our horror goes up by 2. And then he targets and moves twice. So he's just going to move back down here because that's the closest. We did not buy cards after the last one. So we get our 0 cost cards back. Because we sprinted, so we had 5 time. Go ahead and buy Furious Strike and Close Call. Put Close Call back, and these 2 sprints back. We're only rolling 2 dice now. So we're gonna walk. We have 1 success, which is enough. So these guys both get saved. We'll gain 2 time. That puts us at 7, -1 for the walk. And then we'll take an action card that costs 2. We'll gain a sprint. And then we will see if we can make it to Hans. So we're going to walk first. We've got 2 conversions. We'll discard Focus and Short Rest and Close Call and Focus. And that lets us move 2 spaces. So we're in the lake. And we'll sprint. And we've got our double success there. So then that puts us at 6 time. So 1, we'll pick up this guy. 1, 2, 3. We save. We gain a heart. And we also get our ultimate. So now whenever we are in the same space as the enemy and deal damage, we deal an additional. And then for each additional victim saved, we gain time. And at 6 time, I think we're going to stop. And we'll pick up a Retaliate. And we'll pick up Sprint in case we need to move. So we'll put Sprint back from last turn and Close Call. We got Focus, Short Rest, another Focus, and 2 walks. We're going into the 0 cost pile. Hans doesn't have anybody in his space to attack, so he doesn't. But we do get a new terror card. That girl, what's her name? She can help us place 2 new victims in the space where you started the game. So for me, that was over on this side, next to the exit. The horror increases by 1, and we get an event. Death Wish. So during upkeep, move the victim closest to the killer 1 space towards it. Don't count killers currently in the space as the killer. Alright. Now it's upkeep. So the closest one is this guy. I'm going to move. So for our turn, we are going to sprint. We have 2 conversion options. but I like the cards I have, so we'll lose a space. I lose health, move a space, and lose 2 time, and that's our turn, which is fine. We'll get our 0 cost cards back. So we have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. We've got 4 time. So I think we'll pick up a guard and 2 close calls. Sprint goes back. Actually, so we will not take we'll not take short rest. We'll keep that one out. All right. This doesn't have anybody in his space, doesn't attack. We do get a new terror card. He just keeps coming. So we increase the horror by 1. He comes to the closest and attacks. Since he's attacking, we're going to retaliate. We have a single success. So we reduce the attack by 2, which is fine. And then we deal 2 damage, 1 for retaliate, and 1 for Laurie's ability. The upkeep phase, this victim moves closest to us. And then it's our turn, so we're going to start off with a weak attack. We have 1 success and a conversion. So we'll burn our 2 focus to convert that. So Hans takes 2 more damage. And then we'll Furious Strike. We have 1 success. So we deal 2 damage. 1 for Furious Strike and 1 for Laurie's ability. We decrease the horror by 1, and then we end our turn. So then we can pick up short rest. We didn't make any movement, so we have 6 time. We have a guard in hand. So I think we're going to take Critical Blow for 6. Hans' turn. Dark Feast. For every victim that is dead, Hans gains a heart, so he gains 2 health back. Not ideal. But he's not attacking us. The terror goes up, or the horror goes up. These are cards from last turn that didn't go back. So retaliate goes back there. Furious Strike here. Alright. It's our turn. Let's start with Critical Blow. Two dice. 1 success. So we deal 2 damage for Critical Blow. And then 1 additional for Laurie's ability. Decrease the horror. And then that ends our turn. We have 6 time. So we'll pick up Retaliate. And weak attack. And we'll pick up the other guard just so that we have it. Alright, Hans is going to kill this one because he's in the space with us. She may, should have probably last turn, but I forgot about that. increases there. And then we get our terror card. Oh, Hans will attack me if that was supposed to be last turn, so that's retaliate. And that's a complete fail. So we'll spend 2 time for a close call. So that's a success. We'll take it. So it's 2 damage to Hans. And then we get the fire terror card. So we're going to roll a die to determine where the fire breaks out. 3. So that is the utility shed. Nobody's there, so it doesn't matter. It's now my turn. We'll start off with a weak attack. There's a double success. So we deal 2 damage to Hans. And then we go to purchase phase. So we're going to pick up, we've got 4 time, so pick up Furious Strike. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, so we can pick up our 2 focus as well. Weak attack goes back, so those are close call. And then retaliate. I've completely been forgetting about the gruesome deaths that I just remembered. It is Hans's turn. So he's going to attack, and we will guard. 1. Reduce the damage by 2. He's only doing 2, so that is perfectly fine with me. And I forgot to roll an extra dice for that. Alright, no one, or you can't save us, no one can. There are victims on the board, so all victims in our space must panic twice. There's no victims there. He's going to attack again. So we'll use our second guard on that. We'll reduce it to 1 by a minimum of 1, so we only take 1 damage for that. So we don't have any successes. And then Hans will move 1 to the closest victim, so that's over here. So on our turn, we're going to walk. We're not completely sure about that. We'll burn, close call, and short rest as we step up to deliver the final blow. We're going to use Furious Strike. Again, not entirely sure about that, but we will discard Walk and Focus. And I've not been rolling my extra dice. But that flips over, and he doesn't have a health token. So with that, that was Laurie against Hans at Camp Happy Trails.